What is nearshoring? Why have countries like the US done it? And why is it important for Jamaica's development? Welcome to Biz Talk, a series by the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Jamaica's business ministry, helping you mind your business. Let's head over to the virtual studio with Minister Aubyn Hill. Hi, Minister Hill. Good to talk to you again.
Always a pleasure, Kalilah. And I just keep following you on social media and see how successful you are being. And I'm very, very happy for you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Nearshoring. Tell me what that is for people who aren't familiar with the term.
Nearshoring is something that has evolved from what started out as business process outsourcing. And nearshoring developed because a lot of business process outsourcing, especially from the biggest market in the world, from the United States, started off in places like India, the Philippines, elsewhere in Asia. And those are long distances with 7, 8, 9 hours difference, 9 different timelines from New York in the East Coast and 2 or 3 hours less in the Midwest and the West Coast of the United States. But the United States, of course, is the big market that everybody is looking to get. And many of the companies who use offshore processing facilities are from the United States. Nearshoring developed as a term and as a concept before the pandemic, in that companies in the United States wanted to deal with their processing operations that were proximal, close to the United States. What has made it so significant and so much a center of much of our conversation these days is the fact that with the pandemic and your operating activities, your processing activities are all the way in China or India, nearshoring became popular. And we believe that let me tell you what Jamaica has to offer and has been offering. We have now about 75 companies resident as business processing and knowledge processing and IT processing offshore entities here in Jamaica.
So it's basically outsourcing, but closer to the home country.
Home to the home market that needs that uses the processing.
So that gives advantages for a country like Jamaica that is close to a very large market like the United States, but it also puts us at a disadvantage in maybe a European market, no?
Well, I tell you what, not necessarily, because, while the pandemic made Asia look distant and the long supply chain a lot more risky than it might otherwise have seen, Mr. Putin and his war in Ukraine was a big outsourcing place for Europe, has made processing in Eastern Europe a lot more risky than it was before. So all of a sudden, still thinking that the United States and knowing that the United States is the biggest market, nearshoring from Europe, Jamaica is becoming a wonderful place because we're just over an hour away from the United States. We have 1.5 million people in the Portmore, Kingston, St. Catherine area that are largely young, very trainable. We speak English. Our legal system is based on English law, or freedom of currency exchange in and out, no currency restrictions for clean money in and out. All those aspects have made us very, very a very comfortable and attractive destination for outsourcing, not to mention that we have hundreds of flights per day to the United States that make their principals find it easy to come to Jamaica and do business with us.
So you were about to tell me something about 75 firms in Jamaica before I interrupted you earlier.
Yes, we have 75 firms that are using our business outsourcing, or it's not just business outsourcing and doing the back office work, but they're doing IT outsourcing. They're doing knowledge outsourcing across the board. In 2019, they were supposed to make 30,000 employees. Before the pandemic, we were about 43 or so thousand. We're now crossed 50,000. Right through the pandemic, we grew. We dipped a little bit in 2020 and then picked up. The work at home policy really helped us to grow, and it continues to grow. We're looking for 70,000 employees in the near future, and we expect to meet those. And as I said, those 75 companies last year produced about $900 million worth of business in Jamaica.
So what infrastructure and resources do we need in order to facilitate nearshoring, and do we have them?
The two things that we need are extremely good IT broadband infrastructure. We're not where we would love to be, but Minister Vaz and his team are working on a broadband backbone for Jamaica. As you, knowing where you sit and how much information you have, Kalilah, I know you know about this, but this is going on in the Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology. So that work is going on. A second real requirement of the knowledge outsourcing business is people. As I mentioned, our population in the Portmore, St. Catherine, Kingston area is about 1.5 million people. It's the largest English-speaking set of people outside the United States or Canada. So if you want to develop an outsourcing business, and English is such an important part of foreign business, Jamaica is the place. So we have that. Now we have to make sure we are training more people. Mm-hmm. Very often companies come in and train their people as well. But I know the Prime Minister has just reorganized HEART, put in a new chairman, looking for a new CEO. And the whole idea is to focus on training enough people so that we continue to be a market that people who want to outsource their backroom services and knowledge services can come to Jamaica.
So what strategies can we use to attract these opportunities then?
One of the things that we're doing is looking now to expand, to build out a 1,000-acre campus off the Mandela Highway at the Caymanas Center, which is close to the port, close to the highway. And we're just this morning, part of my discussions in Philadelphia and New York, focused around getting not only businesses in the special economic zone, but getting a major developer to work with the government to seed this 1,000-acre, get the utilities at the gate and so on. But we need a developer to come inside that 1,000-acre, put in the infrastructure, build facilities so that businesses who want to operate within the special economic zone have a wonderful campus. And we're in the process of doing that now. That's part of what we have to do to make Jamaica a more attractive destination than it already is for outsourcing business.
And finally, Minister, what message would you like to leave with potential investors?
We're very close to the United States. We understand the United States. The special economic zone make it easy for you to work. There are wonderful tax concessions. For instance, for the developer of the big 1,000-acre plot, we're going to give them a lease for 50 years tax-free on their income tax. They avoid that income tax for that period. Anything they bring in to that area to develop will be duty-free, and what they take out will be duty-free. Their dividends will be duty-free. So there's a bunch of incentives. And when they employ Jamaicans, the tax rate is half the corporate rate, 12.5%. And when they employ Jamaicans, those employee costs can be put on the income tax of 12.5% to reduce it further to about 7.75%. So there are lots of good incentives, apart from Jamaica is a nice place to be and very close to their markets.
Thank you, Minister. We'll talk again soon.
Thank you.
This has been Biz Talk, brought to you by the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, bringing you key services and opportunities for Jamaica's business sector. I'm Kalilah Reynolds. For more information, visit the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce on Instagram at Industry Ministry JA, on Twitter at MIIC_Jamaica, on Facebook at Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, and on their website, miic.gov.jm. Also visit my website, KalilahReynolds.com, for a summary of this interview and to subscribe to my newsletter. Let's get this money.
this money.